Welcome to today's deep dive into one of the most beloved holidays on earth, Christmas. It's a day that brings together families, fills our homes with twinkling lights, and gives us an excuse to eat way too many cookies. But here's the big question. Why do we actually celebrate it? Is it about religion, tradition, or something else entirely? What lies at the heart of this holiday that millions look forward to every year? Christmas isn't just about presents, pine trees, or the catchy tunes we hear on repeat all December long. It's about something deeper. This festive season carries a rich history, one that spans centuries and crosses cultures. From its religious significance to its fascinating evolution, the story of Christmas is anything but ordinary. Today, we're uncovering the truth about this beloved holiday, peeling back the layers to reveal how it became the magical season we know today. We're going to explore the religious roots of Christmas and how it began as a celebration of the birth of Jesus Christ. We'll uncover its fascinating alignment with ancient pagan solstice festivals, delve into the rise of Santa Claus as a cultural icon, and see how Christmas transformed over time into a global holiday celebrated by people of all faiths, beliefs, and traditions. It's a journey through history, culture, and a bit of holiday magic. By the end of this video, you'll have a whole new appreciation for Christmas. The songs, the lights, the presents, and most importantly, the values that bring us together. So, grab a mug of hot cocoa, snuggle up in your favorite blanket, and settle in by the fire or your Wi-Fi router. Let's get started on this festive adventure. Let's begin with the religious origins of Christmas, the heart and soul of this holiday. Most people know Christmas as the celebration of the birth of Jesus Christ. It's a time when Christians around the world come together to honor the miracle of his birth, a moment that marks the beginning of a faith that would go on to shape not only individuals, but entire cultures, kingdoms, and civilizations. Over 2 millennia, the message of Jesus Christ has impacted countless lives, transcending borders and reaching people from all walks of life. According to Christian tradition, Jesus was born in Bethlehem over 2,000 years ago. His birth is regarded as a pivotal moment in human history. It is not just the birth of a child, but the arrival of a Savior. This is why Christians all around the world commemorate his birth each year on December 25th, remembering the hope and light he brought to a world in darkness. The Nativity story, as told in the Gospels of Matthew and Luke, describes Jesus' birth as both humble and miraculous. He was born in a stable because there was no room for him in the inn. His mother Mary and her husband Joseph were just ordinary people, yet they were chosen to welcome the Savior into the world. And though he was a king in the eyes of Christians, his humble birth in a manger exemplified his message of humility and peace. What makes the Nativity even more awe-inspiring is the way it was celebrated from the very start. The sky was filled with angels proclaiming the good news to shepherds in the fields. These humble shepherds became the first to visit Jesus, a powerful symbol of how his message reached out to the most overlooked in society. Later, the wise men, 3 magi who had followed a star across the desert, arrived bearing gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh, symbolic of his divine kingship. It's a beautiful, awe-inspiring story that has inspired countless songs, carols, and artistic depictions throughout history. But here's something you might not know. The Bible doesn't specify the exact date of Jesus' birth. That's right. There's no evidence or record that Jesus was born on December 25th. In fact, the Bible doesn't even mention a date for his birth at all. The lack of a precise date raises an interesting question. Why do we celebrate Christmas on December 25th? Now here's where things get even more fascinating. The choice of December 25th as the date to celebrate Jesus' birth wasn't random at all. It wasn't just picked out of thin air. The date actually has strong ties to ancient pagan winter solstice celebrations, which were widely observed across Europe, the Middle East, and beyond. The timing of Christmas directly coincides with the winter solstice, the shortest day and longest night of the year. For centuries, cultures and civilizations had celebrated the return of the sun during this time, marking a turning point in the year when darkness began to recede and the light would grow stronger. By selecting December 25th, early Christians were not only giving a specific date to commemorate Jesus' birth, but also aligning the celebration with these long-standing pagan festivals. This helped to ease the transition for converts to Christianity who were already familiar with these celebrations. Christianity essentially adopted and redefined the timing of these pagan festivities, infusing them with new meaning. It was a strategic move that allowed the Christian faith to spread more easily by merging it with pre-existing traditions. In essence, early Christians used the winter solstice as a symbolic backdrop to celebrate the arrival of Jesus Christ, the light of the world. By choosing this date, they were emphasizing the idea that just as the days begin to lengthen and the darkness begins to recede, Jesus' arrival heralded the dawn of a new spiritual light for all of humanity. So as you can see, the selection of December 25th as the day to celebrate Christmas was no accident. It's deeply intertwined with both the religious significance of Jesus' birth and the cultural and seasonal observances that predated the holiday. It's a perfect example of how traditions evolve, merge, and adapt over time, creating the rich tapestry of customs and celebrations that we enjoy today. But it doesn't stop there. As Christmas evolved over the centuries, it absorbed even more layers of meaning, influenced by different cultures, kingdoms, and communities. We're just getting started in uncovering the fascinating journey of this holiday. So let's keep going. The winter solstice, the shortest day of the year, held profound significance for many ancient civilizations. This celestial event was seen as a turning point, symbolizing the triumph of light over darkness as the days gradually began to grow longer. It was a time of renewal, hope, and celebration, an opportunity for people to gather, feast, and honor the return of the sun. Across cultures, the solstice inspired elaborate festivals and rituals that captured the spirit of resilience and the promise of brighter days ahead. In ancient Rome, the solstice was celebrated with Saturnalia, one of the most extravagant festivals of the year. Dedicated to Saturn, the god of agriculture, Saturnalia was a week-long celebration filled with feasting, music, games, and gift-giving. It was a time of role reversals where societal norms were temporarily upended. Masters served their slaves, and everyone joined in the revelry as equals. Streets were filled with the sounds of laughter and joy. Homes were decorated with greenery, and candles were lit to ward off the winter darkness. This holiday was so beloved by the Roman people that it left a lasting cultural imprint. Saturnalia wasn't the only solstice festival influencing Christmas. In the northern European regions, Yule was the highlight of the winter season. This pagan festival revolved around fire and nature, with people lighting great Yule logs to burn throughout the night, symbolizing warmth and light during the darkest days of the year. Trees, seen as symbols of life and endurance, were brought indoors and decorated to celebrate nature's resilience. Families and communities came together to share meals, sing songs, and exchange small tokens of goodwill. Many of these Yule traditions, such as decorating trees and lighting candles, eventually found their way into modern Christmas customs. The early Christian church, in its mission to spread its faith, recognized the deep cultural attachment to these solstice celebrations. By setting Christmas on December 25th, the church aligned the celebration of Jesus' birth with these widely cherished festivals, blending the spiritual message of salvation with the joy and hope embodied by the solstice. This strategic choice made it easier for converts to embrace Christianity while preserving familiar traditions that already resonated deeply with their communities. Over time, the religious significance of Christmas grew, becoming a central event in the Christian calendar. However, the festive spirit of the solstice celebrations, the feasting, the merriment, and the gathering of loved ones remained. These traditions wove themselves into the fabric of Christmas, creating a holiday that is both deeply spiritual and profoundly communal. What's fascinating is how these ancient solstice rituals, born out of humanity's connection to the rhythms of nature, continue to shape how we celebrate Christmas today. The lights on our trees, the warmth of a fire, the act of giving gifts, these all echo the celebrations of Saturnalia, Yule, and other solstice festivals. They remind us that at its core, Christmas is about embracing light, hope, and togetherness, even in the darkest of times. It's a beautiful fusion of faith and tradition, connecting us to our ancestors while carrying forward a timeless message of joy and renewal. But Christmas wasn't always the grand, glittering holiday we know today. For much of its early history, it was a relatively modest religious observance. In fact, for the first few centuries of Christianity, Christmas didn't even rank as a major holiday. It was overshadowed by Easter, which commemorates the resurrection of Jesus Christ. To early Christians, the resurrection was seen as the cornerstone of their faith, representing the triumph of life over death and the promise of salvation. The celebration of Jesus' birth began to gain recognition in the 4th century, when church leaders formalized December 25th as the official date. However, even then, it remained a solemn event, marked by prayer and reflection, rather than the feasting and festivities we associate with Christmas today. It wasn't until the Middle Ages that Christmas started to take on a more festive character, blending religious observances with local customs and community celebrations. During this period, the church embraced elements of regional traditions to make Christmas more engaging and accessible to the public. Feasts became a central part of the holiday, with families and communities gathering to share meals in celebration. Caroling emerged as a popular tradition, with groups of singers going door to door, spreading joy through music. Meanwhile, nativity plays brought the story of Jesus' birth to life, combining faith with entertainment in a way that resonated with people across social classes. However, Christmas's journey wasn't without its challenges. By the 17th century, the holiday faced an unexpected and rather drastic twist. It was outright banned in some places. Yes, banned. In Puritan England, under the rule of Oliver Cromwell, Christmas celebrations were seen as excessive, frivolous, and even unchristian. The Puritans believed that such displays detracted from the solemnity of religious worship, and they sought to eliminate what they viewed as pagan and overly indulgent elements of the holiday. The ban extended to public festivities, decorations, and even the simple act of celebrating the day. This austere attitude wasn't confined to England. Across the Atlantic, in some American colonies influenced by Puritan values, Christmas was also frowned upon and occasionally prohibited. In Boston, for instance, celebrating Christmas was illegal from 1659 to 1681, with fines imposed on anyone caught engaging in holiday merriment. For a time, Christmas seemed to be losing its place as a cherished holiday. But as history shows, the spirit of Christmas is hard to suppress. By the 18th and 19th centuries, the holiday experienced a revival, thanks in part to cultural and literary influences that reshaped its image. The Victorians, in particular, played a significant role in popularizing many of the traditions we now associate with Christmas. Queen Victoria and her German-born husband, Prince Albert, introduced the practice of decorating Christmas trees to Britain, a custom Albert brought from his homeland. The image of a beautifully adorned tree quickly caught on and became a centerpiece of Christmas celebrations. The Victorians also embraced the idea of sending Christmas cards, a tradition that spread rapidly due to advances in printing and postal services. These cards often featured scenes of snowy landscapes, festive gatherings, and messages of goodwill, reinforcing the holiday's themes of connection and kindness. At the same time, literature played a key role in shaping the modern perception of Christmas. Charles Dickens's A Christmas Carol, published in 1843, captured the essence of the holiday spirit with its themes of generosity, redemption, and compassion. The story of Ebenezer Scrooge's transformation resonated deeply with readers and helped solidify Christmas as a time for giving and reflection. By the end of the 19th century, Christmas had firmly established itself as a joyous and inclusive holiday, blending religious observance with cultural traditions, family gatherings, and festive fun. From its humble beginnings as a minor religious event to its near banishment and eventual resurgence, Christmas's journey is a testament to its enduring appeal and adaptability. Today it stands as a global celebration that continues to bring people together, reminding us of the values of love, generosity, and hope that lie at its heart. Now let's talk about one of the most iconic figures of Christmas, Santa Claus. Whether he's sliding down chimneys, driving a sleigh pulled by reindeer, or laughing with his signature, ho ho ho, Santa Claus is a symbol of holiday cheer recognized around the world. But who exactly is Santa, and how did he become the figure we know today? The answer lies in a fascinating blend of legend, history, and yes, marketing. Santa Claus, as we know him, is rooted in the story of Saint Nicholas, a 4th century bishop from the city of Myra, in what is now modern-day Turkey. Saint Nicholas was renowned for his extraordinary generosity and kindness, particularly toward children and the poor. He was deeply committed to helping those in need, often doing so anonymously. One of the most famous stories about Saint Nicholas tells of how he secretly gave bags of gold to a destitute family. According to the legend, The father of this family was on the verge of selling his daughters into servitude because he couldn't afford their dowries. To save them, St. Nicholas is said to have tossed bags of gold through their window, which landed in stockings left to dry by the fire. Yes, this is where the tradition of hanging stockings originates. Over the centuries, St. Nicholas became the patron saint of children, sailors, and travelers. His legacy spread far and wide, and he was venerated in churches across Europe. As his story traveled, it evolved, taking on local flavors and cultural interpretations. In some countries, he was depicted as a solemn and pious figure, while in others, he became associated with joyous celebrations and gift-giving. This evolution set the stage for the creation of Santa Claus as we know him today. When Dutch settlers arrived in America, they brought with them the tradition of Sinterklaas, their version of St. Nicholas. Sinterklaas was celebrated as a figure who brought gifts to children on December 5th, the eve of St. Nicholas Day. In the diverse melting pot of early America, Sinterklaas merged with other cultural influences, gradually transforming into Santa Claus. By the 19th century, Santa Claus was becoming a distinctly American figure. Writers and artists played a major role in shaping his image. One of the most influential works was Clement Clarke Moore's 1823 poem, A Visit from St. Nicholas, more commonly known as The Night Before Christmas. In this poem, Santa was described as a jolly old elf with twinkling eyes, a round belly, and a sleigh pulled by 8 reindeer. This depiction was the first to introduce key elements of Santa's modern persona, including his chimney visits and his magical ability to deliver presents to children around the world in a single night. Another key figure in Santa's transformation was the political cartoonist Thomas Nast. In the late 19th century, Nast created illustrations of Santa Claus for Harper's Weekly. Nast's Santa was larger than life, dressed in fur-trimmed clothing, and often depicted at work in his North Pole workshop. These images further solidified the character we recognize today. Now, let's address a common misconception. Coca-Cola did not invent Santa Claus. It's true that Coca-Cola's 1930s advertisements featuring Santa in a bright red suit helped popularize his image, but the foundation for Santa's appearance had already been laid. Earlier depictions by Nast and others had established the red-suited, white-bearded figure long before Coca-Cola's marketing team got involved. That said, the Coca-Cola ads played a significant role in spreading this version of Santa globally, particularly as mass media grew in influence during the 20th century. Santa's story doesn't stop there. In addition to being a marketing icon, he's a symbol of generosity, joy, and wonder. His character represents the best of the holiday season, spreading love, giving without expectation, and reminding us of the magic that comes with believing in something greater than ourselves. What's even more remarkable is how Santa has transcended cultural and religious boundaries. While his roots lie in Christian tradition, Santa Claus is celebrated in countries around the world, even in places where Christmas itself isn't a religious holiday. For example, in Japan, Santa is part of a secular Christmas celebration centered on spreading joy, exchanging gifts, and enjoying festive meals. Similarly, Santa's cheerful, inclusive image has made him a unifying figure, embodying the universal spirit of giving and kindness. From his origins as a humble bishop to his modern role As a global ambassador of holiday cheer, Santa Claus has come a long way. The concept of giving gifts took on new meaning, and with it came new traditions. Department stores played a huge role in shaping the modern Christmas experience. By the early 20th century, retailers turned holiday shopping into an art form, using dazzling window displays, festive music, and even live Santa meet and greets to draw in customers. Macy's famously introduced the first in-store Santa Claus in the late 1800s, a tradition that grew into the beloved annual Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, signaling the start of the Christmas season. But did you know that one of the first recorded uses of Christmas advertisements dates back to the 1840s? Businesses realized early on that they could capitalize on the holiday spirit to boost sales. By the mid-20th century, Christmas advertising was a full-blown phenomenon, with iconic campaigns like Coca-Cola's Santa Claus and Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer becoming cultural staples. Today, the holiday season accounts for a significant portion of annual retail sales in many countries. In the United States alone, holiday sales regularly exceed $1 trillion, with Black Friday and Cyber Monday acting as major kickoffs for the spending frenzy. Everything from toys to tech gadgets to ugly Christmas sweaters finds its place in the season's shopping lists. Of course, the commercialization of Christmas isn't without its critics. Some argue that the focus on buying and spending detracts from the holiday's deeper spiritual and cultural meaning. The pressure to find the perfect gift can sometimes overshadow the simple joys of the season, turning what should be a time of connection into a stress-filled rush through crowded stores or endless online shopping. But others see it differently. They view the commercial aspect of Christmas as an opportunity to bring joy, support businesses, and spread goodwill. After all, every gift represents thoughtfulness and care. Someone took the time to pick out something special for a loved one. So, whether you view the commercialization of Christmas as a necessary part of the holiday's evolution or a distraction from its true meaning, there's no denying its impact. It's a phenomenon that reflects both the challenges and opportunities of modern life, blending tradition with innovation and generosity with a bit of holiday shopping magic. At its best, the hustle and bustle of holiday spending is a reflection of people's desire to share joy and make others feel loved. And isn't that what Christmas is all about? What ties all these traditions together across centuries and cultures is the spirit of Christmas: love, generosity, and hope. Think about it. No matter where you are in the world or how you celebrate, this holiday is all about bringing people closer, sharing joy, and holding on to the belief that brighter days are ahead. Isn't that something we all need now more than ever? Christmas reminds us of the things that truly matter. It's a time to cherish our loved ones, to give freely without expecting anything in return, and to find joy in life's simplest pleasures. So let me ask you, what does Christmas mean to you? Is it the laughter of family gathered around the table? The magic of watching someone open a gift you've carefully chosen? Or maybe it's just the peaceful moments, sitting quietly by the glow of a Christmas tree, reflecting on the year gone by. Whether you celebrate Christmas as a deeply religious occasion, a cultural tradition, or simply as a chance to relax and recharge, one thing is clear: Christmas has something for everyone. It's not about perfection. It's not about how many presents are under the tree or how sparkling your decorations are. It's about connection. It's about kindness. It's about believing in something bigger than yourself. So, as you hang your stockings this year, or sip on a warm mug of eggnog, take a moment to think about the rich history and meaning behind the holiday. Each tradition, no matter how small, is part of a tapestry that's been woven over centuries by people from all walks of life. And here's the exciting part. It's still evolving. Every year, new memories, new customs, and new moments of joy are added to the story of Christmas. And now, we want to hear from you. What's your favorite Christmas tradition? Is there something unique your family does to celebrate? Share it in the comments. We'd love to hear how you make the season special. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the true story of Christmas. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you won't miss more deep dives into the stories behind the things we love. Until next time, stay safe, spread kindness, and have a very Merry Christmas. See you soon.